All right, neighbors and niggas, what's poppin'? It is I, Kenya, Blues Barbie doll, presenting y'all with Queen Sugar on this evening. Please disregard this pimple upon my face. It is trying to take over my life, and I won't give it that power. Anywho, this episode really was super low-key this week. They didn't give us, a lot. They didn't really give us much of anything to take with us, Usually I'm left with, take this with you, carry this on for the week. I didn't really have anything to carry with me for the week this time. I'm going to go person by person because my scene by scene notes were left at the house. I had to rewatch the episode and I just did not feel like giving you scene by scene. So I'm giving you person by person today because the devil tried to block it, but I won't let this happen. Aunt Vi in Hollywood, they are giving you honeymoon, teas and realness in the bed. I guess they out of town at somebody's hotel doing just the most, and it's nasty, and I didn't need, none of that. And while we're having dinner, because Hollywood got called back to work, he was like, he answered the phone, and they were like, come on back. He was like, so soon? We just blew up like 2 days ago. What you mean? But yeah, they need him back in 2 days, so they go out to dinner, and Hollywood's been thinking, and he decides that he wants to quit this job, come on back to St. Josephine, and find him a little something around, around town so he can be with his girl. And he says to Violet, don't give up on us again. I can't take it. And I'm saying here, like, yes, Hollywood, she did take a moment, but she took a moment directly due to your actions. So, I mean, I understand that you feel like she threw you over to the side for a hot second, but we got to remember that you did not tell this woman you were married. And that's a big issue, especially for someone as, I hate to say it, but as seasoned as Vi is. Vi's an old gal. She can't be out here playing these games. And she felt like this was a game. Let me scooch over, got them out the way for the time being. Nova, she's got Micah at her house, and Charley comes by, and she's telling Charley the boy ain't eating, he's sleeping, constantly. All of these are signs of depression. We worried about Micah. And she tells Charley that, the night he was arrested, this boy done peed on himself. Charley obviously shook. And she tried to tell Micah, she being Nova, tried to tell Micah, we need to talk about this. You got to let this out. You can't let this, ruin your life, take over your life, all of that. So, but he just gets up and goes back to bed, which is a Kayla thing. It's a me thing to do. If anything, I'm going back to bed. I look like my head is just extra long today because you can't see where my hairline begins. And that didn't help. That didn't make me look any shorter of the head. Who cares? So anyway, Nova's on her way down to Atlanta, up to Atlanta. To go to this panel. She got invited, to be on a panel dealing with mass incarceration in Atlanta. She swoops on down, or up, to Atlanta. And, she meeting and greeting at the function with the folks and having drinks. And she runs upon Mr. Dubois. And I'm sitting here like, is this Councilman Dubois from Empire's cousin? Because he got the bald head, the real stiff look at here, Dubois. I'm like, we try to have one of those, crossover episodes. Are we finna see Tay Diggs in a couple episodes? And Lucius and Cookie and them. But anyway, he's there, and you can tell he kind of sweet on her. And she's kind of sweet on him, too. And I don't like it. I don't see it. Because during the panel, they're giving, different sides of the same coin, basically. He's trying to stop, the niggas from going to jail. And she's trying to stop the police from just putting all the niggas in jail. Something like that. So they kind of arguing, but they arguing on the same team. But I just don't see this stuffy, man rocking with Nova. Nova is a free spirit. Nova's out here, doing healings and selling drugs and sleeping with, men's and women's and things. I don't see them as a match. But, y'all on Twitter and Facebook and everything was hype about, her finally having a black man. I just don't see them as a compatible fit. I don't. But anyway, they go out to lunch after the panel and they're discussing, stuff. And then he's like, can I take you somewhere? And I'm sitting here hollering at the TV. Y'all already somewhere. Where you need to go? He wants to take her for a walk. So they go outside. They having a nice little walk. And as she's checking out the next day, checking out the hotel, he pops in with some coffee. And I'm like, he trying a little too hard for me. I don't see it for him. I don't see it. Let's swoop over to Charley. Charley asked Micah if he wanted to be a part of the joint custody agreement. Basically, she asked him, did he tell his daddy that he wanted to be split between the two? He didn't say nothing, but she took that to mean no, he didn't. I don't know. he might have said something along those lines, but he ain't tell us, so I'm not sure 100%. But She goes over to Davis's house, hollers at him, saying Micah never said he wanted joint custody. You twisting this boy's words, yada yada. And then Davis goes on this journey, honey, this soliloquy, this Shonda Rhimes speech about how he ain't never had a daddy. And I'm like, none of us ever had a daddy. What? So, and point. I ain't never had a daddy until, Ernest. I married you and Ernest became my daddy. And then I got it right, y'all. The mama's name is Lorna. I told y'all because in the book her name is Lorna. I didn't know if we was going to, switch up. But he was like, Lorna, never denied Ernest custody of the child, of you. And he got to see you. And then it was just really, Davis's soliloquy was just really giving a whole bunch of unneeded backstory that we could have explored at a later date. But he's talking about, even though you lived in California, he lived in Louisiana, he was around, he visited, and, y'all let each other see each other and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, we could have had this. It felt very abrupt the way they, just threw that out there. You was raised in California, your daddy was raised, he was in Louisiana with the other kids, but yada yada. I'm like, we could have talked about that differently. It didn't have to be just tossed out there, because that's not how it is in the book anyway. I don't know anybody else who has read the book, but if you've read the book, it's a switch up. It's a whole different, ain't nothing in the show pretty much like the book except the names. Pretty much Nova don't even exist in the book. But anyway, so she hollering at Davis, da-da-da, and he started talking about daddies, and he ain't have one, and he just want to be a good one to his son. And I'm like, still don't care. And then, as Charley's leaving, he's giving, I know about the signature. I know you forged my signature. And she shook. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to swoop over to Ralph Angel, because their parts kind of intersect a lot. This episode, Ralph Angel and Charley, they intersect. There's a drone flying over our farm. And I don't like it. Blue, he looks up there, he sees the drone, he starts running after it like kids do. I would have done that too if I were, 5, 6 like Blue is. He's running after the little drone, and all of a sudden, TV magic, logistics just don't, come to play here. The drone just falls out the sky, just boop, falls out the sky. And, Ralph Angel's in the kitchen, he doing some dishes, and he hears Blue call him. Ralph Angel took up, my father would have never leaped over, the porch. Ralph Angel started running, he jumped, that man was doing all the Olympic sports. And he rushed and got to Blue and saw that there was a drone down there, pushed Blue out the way because we don't know what this is. And then he started picking up the stuff in his hands. And I'm like, you don't push Blue out the way because it may be dangerous, but then here you go grabbing it with your hand. Okay, Ralph Angel. But it was so nice to see, him rush to the aid of his child like that. And he looking at the drone, him, me, and my mama all sitting there like, it's the Landrys. That's all this is the Landrys. My mama said it's the white folks. I said it's the, the Landrys. And Ralph Angel went over to the Boudreaux, who are in the Landry family. He pops over to the Boudreaux' office. And for the Boudreaux to be so wealthy, why their office looked like the inside of my car? It was like this big. I just didn't care for it. But Ralph Angel goes over there with the drone in a garbage bag, takes it over there and says, I need y'all niggas to stay out the skies of my land. And they're like, he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he's like, don't play dumb with me. I already know you and your niggas out here looking over my land with this drone. And then he kind of confirms it when he says, you shouldn't let Blue play outside by himself. Ralph Angel wasn't having that. He jumped up on that man, yoked him up and gave him the, what is it? The How to Get Away with Murder, Annalise Keating fist. Remember when she was in jail? Them girls were bullying her. She ran back with that fist. That's what Ralph Angel was giving. And the man is like, what are you going to do? Ralph says, I'll put you back in jail. It's nothing. And Ralph Angel says, okay, well, you play with my child, and there's not going to be a jail big enough to hold me. I'm going to hurt you. Not even playing. And he scoots on, back to where he's going. Ralph Angel has the parole officer look over the paperwork, the last will. And the parole officer's like, yeah, this look like it'll stand up in court. Ralph was like, my sisters ain't going to sue me. I'm sitting here like, Ralph, one of your sisters may not sue you, but the other one, it's likely. It's very likely. And let me see. The parole officer says there's a partial date on the will. So I'm sitting here like, if there is a court situation, which I'm thinking there will be because we've had the scene, if they try to bring this up in court, that partial date's going to come back. It's going to come back. And it's probably not going to go Ralph Angel's way because don't nothing go Ralph Angel's way. That partial date is probably going to it's going to have the whole will thrown out probably if we have to end up taking this to court. So let me scooch. Ralph Angel is in the bed. He and Blue, they in bed. And you know, it's summertime, it's the South, and apparently they don't live where it's a lot of mosquitoes, so they got the window up, because we got mosquitoes out of my house. We can't have the window up if we don't have a net or a screen. But they got the windows up, and they hear some, you know, some rigmarole out yonder, some noises and things. And Ralph looks out the window and sees there's a vehicle. So he gets this gun that I know he's not supposed to have, because this man is on parole. He's not on probation, he on parole. You ain't supposed to have a gun on parole, but he got one. He loads it up, takes it outside, starts shooting in the air. And once he starts shooting, obviously the girls start running. He drops the gun, chases after them. I'm sitting here like, if you got the gun, you may as well carry that gun with you while you're running after these folks. But whatever. He runs after them, grabs somebody, and it's somebody he knows. So the nigger that was in the yard was somebody that they knew. One of the farmer fellas, actually somebody who has signed up to be a part of the, you know, the squad, the Queen Sugar Squad. I don't remember what it was called. The collective. And he tells them that Landry paid him, you know, he was in debt, Landry paid off the debt, and had him join the little collective to see what the girls were up to, and then also decided to have him steal some of the cane. Now, Ralph Angel said he ain't getting none of the cane. Looked like I saw some cane on the back of that truck as it was driving off, but maybe I'm tripping. Because Charley wanted to call the police, and Ralph was like, he ain't getting nothing, you know, let's just leave it as it is, you know. And, oh God, there's kids everywhere. I can't stand children. I mean, I like kids, but not summertime children. They work my spirit. So anyway, y'all don't care. Yeah, so Charley wants to call the police. They dissuade her from doing that. And, you know, Ralph is giving, I know what it's like to, you know, to want a second chance. I know, you know, what it's like to be on his side of the street. Let's give him a little leeway, you know. And, at this point, I believe, is when Ralph Angel, oh, look at God. Ralph Angel starts talking to Charley about a signature for the, whatever, what do you call the thing? The loan, the grant, whatever this thing is. He wants a signature for it. All right, so this day. Anyway, basically, Charley is going off on Ralph Angel about this little sheet of paper that she needs to sign. Like, sign his boy's permission slip so he can plant these soybeans. What is the problem? Like, I'm annoyed with Charley, but I'm more annoyed with Charley because in the book, Ralph Angel was the unlikable one, and Charley was the one just trying to do her best and just, you know, out here grinding and trying to make sure that the farm was, you know, its best self. So it's annoying to be, you know, dealing with, you know, how you think it's gonna go because you read the book, and then how it actually ends up going. That's aggravating to me. But so she's giving all this fever over signing this piece of paper, and I just don't understand. But she comes around to it and says, you know, after she sees Ralph with his son, then, you know, she comes around and decides to sign the paper. So let me get into my papers because I'm missing something. So Ralph Angel tells Charley about the situation with the drone. She goes all off on him about how, you know, he can't be just popping down to their office acting a fool, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. And I'm sorry if the sound is a little different. I took off my headphones because I'm running today. I got a lot I'm doing, a lot. But all in all, you know, she ends up going down there with him to the office. And I'm like, all this going off you did. And you end up popping down there too. She takes her little brother down there and, you know, is giving don't mess with me, don't mess with my little brother, leave us alone. And he's standing in the background giving, yeah, what she said. And I'm just like, this is cute. I wish they could have, you know, something similar to this all the time. And while they're there, the Boudreaux Landry family is giving, you know, we've been farming for 100 years and y'all have been farming for 3 months. Well, if you've been alive for 100 years and farming for the entirety of the 100 years, then yes. But if not, then her family been farming probably longer than your family because your family owned her family and put them to work. So it's at least the same amount of time that the girls have been farming. You acting like, you know, these black people that worked on your land wasn't her family. So as far as your family farming, your family only been farming for like 20 years. And these folks been farming the majority of the time. But whatever though, Landry. Whatever. Okay, so let's go swoop back over to Charley is telling Hollywood and Unvi that, you know, they're going to find them a little place, a little spot out here somewhere And Unvi's like, you don't have to do that. She's not really making it, you know, super serious. So Unvi ain't making it like critical that they need to leave, but she ain't making it critical that they need to stay either. And Charlie's like, no, we got to find a place. And Hollywood is like, they got to find a place. And so then they immediately swoop over to Davis. And I'm like, I know Charley ain't finna stay up in here with Davis. I know she's not. But she's just dropping off Micah. And she gives him the, you know, if you hurt my child, I'll kill you speech. Oh, this was a struggle. This done turned into a struggle review. I thought it was going to be easy peasy, lemon squeezy, but it ain't. But Davis gives, you know, Charley, I would have never, you know, went to the police about you signing my name, yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we can't tell, Davis. We never know with you because we wasn't expecting you to be cheating on Charley. You remember the first episode, the very first thing you see is them sitting out on the balcony doing the nasty, and I'm just like, oh, okay, they in love for real. Come to find out. Anyway, so that's basically, you know, it. Oh, okay, so they're having a welcome home party for Hollywood and Unvi. I didn't even know they was gone, to be honest, but welcome back. And when they get welcomed, you see Micah, he's giving a little smile, a little, you know, a taste of you know, normalcy, just a tiny little piece of normalcy, and it's cute. But then he ends up going back outside, and he's sitting outside, and you know, looking up at the stars in the sky. And Ralph Angel comes outside, and Ralph Angel gives, hey, bruh, we good? It's cool. You cool? And I've been wanting this. I don't remember if I said this in my last video or not, but I've definitely said it out loud. I just don't know if I've said it on camera. But I've been wanting Ralph Angel to give us, you know, hey, I went to jail, you got arrested, bonding. So it was cute that he did that. I want him to give him just a little bit more, but I'll take what I can get. And yeah, that was it. Like, comment, subscribe, all the things the YouTubers say. All my information down below. All of Matea's information, as far as her GoFundMe. Not all of her information, obviously, but her GoFundMe is down below. And that's it. I'll see y'all next week, I guess. Sunday? I think Sunday. All right, y'all. Peace.